Ever since we started our yearly challenge to eat only what we grow, forage, and hunt, ice cream has been a problem. Jordan loves ice cream, even though he's mildly lactose intolerant. Because 2023 was such a great year for foraging nuts, we decided to try and use some of them to make Jordan's favorite sweet treat. Previously this year, we made ice cream from Kanachi, the sweetened hickory milk that we make all the time, and it turned out delicious, but the second time around, the texture was a little bit icy, so this week we decided to try and kick it up a notch. Black walnuts have a really high fat and protein content, one of the highest of all nuts, which we felt made them the perfect candidate for making a really rich ice cream. Like most nut trees, black walnuts have masting years where they produce nuts in great abundance. In years like this, it's easy to go out and fill up a bucket full in a matter of minutes. We harvested 8.5 bushels of black walnuts this year, which after cracking them out of their shell translates to roughly 250 cups of the actual nuts themselves, which is also about 200,000 calories. Pretty incredible. We pressed some for oil, which is really great in salad dressings, and we've also used them for pie crusts, walnut butter, and even burgers. I'm so bad at it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm into that.
Sometimes being bad at something is an asset.
With the sheer abundance of black walnuts that fall in roadways and parks every year, it's kind of surprising why they aren't more popular in this country. But I can think of a couple reasons why that might be the case. One is that some people find that black walnuts have an off-putting flavor. I've heard gasoline as a descriptor pretty often. And we think this might be a genetic trait similar to how some people think cilantro tastes like soap and others love it. I personally love it. And even among the two of us, Jordan thinks black walnuts are one of the best flavored nuts ever, and I think they're okay, but they definitely have a slight aftertaste that's, I don't know how to describe it, markery, I guess? So I don't love to just throw a handful in my mouth on their own as a snack, but I do find that I don't mind that flavor at all when it's put in other things, and sometimes it can actually enhance a dish. The other thing that's holding black walnuts back, I think, is how hard they are to crack. You cannot use a regular nutcracker on these babies. We invested in a lever action nutcracker, and it's made a big difference. These range in price anywhere from $40 or $50 to $100, and most of them seem to work pretty much the same way. Previously, we would use a hammer or a vise, and this worked, but it was much messier and slower going. So getting one of these dedicated nutcrackers will make a huge difference in the amount you can crack quickly. We are not big on buying stuff, but we definitely felt like this was worth it.
using SAT words. And,
To make our ice cream more rich and hopefully luscious, we roasted some of the walnuts until they were fragrant and beginning to release their oils. Then we ground them up in our mill to make a walnut butter. Also, Jordan's favorite ice cream flavor is chocolate peanut butter, so we thought by having some roasted walnut butter in there, we might get a little bit closer to scratching that itch. With the rest of the walnuts, we did our usual process for making nut milk, only this time we cooked it down even longer so it was extra thick, and we added lots and lots of honey. It's really amazing the difference that having honey has made to our challenge. In previous years, before we started sharing about all this on social media, we didn't have honeybees. We would occasionally trade with neighbors for some honey, but it was always a limited and very precious resource. Now, honey is still very precious to us, but we have so much of it that we don't really have to worry about using it all up and can just kind of let it fly. We got even more this year than the last because our beehives expanded after we caught 2 swarms. Catching swarming bees can be a great way to expand your apiary and also save the bees from a likely death because, at least in our area, they're very unlikely to survive the winter. For one of them, Jordan even built his very own Kenyan-inspired hive box, so compared to a lot of other bee equipment, it was relatively inexpensive too. Now we have enough honey for ourselves and to share lots with friends and family, which is a really good feeling. After the walnut milk thickened up, we tempered 2 egg yolks by slowly adding the warm mixture to the egg yolks and beating them in. This ensures that we get a smooth mixture and not little cooked eggy bits. We felt that adding these yolks would enhance the texture and make things creamier, even though yes, we know, technically this makes it a frozen custard and not an ice cream. Now, eggs still are a precious and scarce resource for us because currently we don't have the space to have chickens of our own. Luckily, at the urban farm where I work, we do have a small flock of aging laying hens, so when I go and check on them, I'm usually able to get a couple of eggs. After mixing in the walnut butter, we let the whole mixture chill in the freezer for a while, and then it was time to put it in the ice cream maker.
Oh yeah, baby.
We were really happy with how this turned out. It felt so special to have something this rich, sweet, and satisfying, all from ingredients that came within a few miles of us, really. The bees foraged nectar from the flowers in our garden and surrounding neighborhood to make honey. The chickens ate lots of weeds, food scraps, and corn scratch from the urban farm where I work to produce the incredible convenience food that is eggs. And the oak trees soaked up rain and sunlight and transformed them into an incredible abundance of nuts for us to collect. I say all this not to just brag about our homemade ice cream substitute, but to demonstrate how even ecosystems that might not feel all that special or well-preserved like Pittsburgh can provide so much for plants, animals, and us. Learning how to really see all the plants, fungi, insects, and their interactions has brought a lot of joy to our lives. And we'd love to share that in the hopes that it can bring joy to some other folks too. On that note, if you want to learn more about how to identify, harvest, process, and use black walnuts and all kinds of other wild foods, we recommend checking out our online courses. They are full of hours of detailed, comprehensive video guides on everything from how to set up a low-maintenance garden that really feeds you, to how to forage sustainably and confidently from the woods and parks near you. And if you qualify for SNAP or WIC or other similar financial assistance programs, please get in touch with us about our sliding scale pricing by emailing the address below.
It's a happy dance. It is really good. I am wondering why we're eating ice cream outside in January.
It's always ice cream season.
It's very cold.
All right. That's just sacrilege right there.